What is one of the most common statement told by an accused in front of the court? That is, I was not there at the crime scene, or उस दिन मैं नहीं था. Now every accused tried to prove that he was not there at that particular day near the crime scene. He was somewhere else. Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and in the series of Evidence Act, today I am going to discuss about section 11, which is all about when facts not otherwise relevant become relevant. This is one of the important section from chapter 2, which is all about relevancy of facts, covering from section 5 to 55. This particular concept is known as plea of alibi. Now I am going to discuss section 11 in detail along with the concept of plea of alibi with lot of case laws. Why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. Section 11 is one of the smallest section which says facts not otherwise relevant are relevant when if they are inconsistent with any fact in issue or relevant fact, or if by themselves or in connection with other facts they make the existence or non-existence of any fact in issue or relevant fact highly probable or improbable. Now the first statement, it is very easy. You have a facts in issue or relevant fact, but there is one more fact which is very inconsistent with a fact in issue or relevant fact. Sometime it becomes relevant. I will give the illustration on that. And in the second part, if by themselves or in connection with other facts they make the existence or non-existence of any fact in issue or relevant fact highly probable or improbable. That is also very clearly explained with the help of illustration. Let us take the help of illustration to understand these two statements. The first illustration discusses about a murder. Now, what are the different relevant facts or the facts in issue? There is a murder. 1. A is the accused. 2. And the murder happened in Kolkata. Now, these are the relevant facts which are already available, or these are the facts in issue. Now, A brings one another fact which was not relevant. What is that? He says, I was not in Kolkata that day, but I was in Lahore. Now, what is the possibility of a person being in Lahore killing a person who is in Kolkata at the same time? Now, it is not impossible. Today, with flights and all, the travel time has reduced. But if you see the probability, it is not high probable chances. So that way, he being in Lahore on the said day becomes one of the relevant fact, which is what we need to understand. In the second illustration, again there is a murder scene, and here the murder could have been done by only 4 people. That is A, B, C and D, and no one else. Now after investigation, A stands as accused and B, C and D are no more suspected. Now if B, C and D are no more suspected, that also becomes one of the relevant fact, because that makes the position of A being an accused makes much clearer than earlier. That way, proving they haven't had any chance also becomes a relevant fact in a certain cases, which is what discussed here in the second illustration. While I have a lot of case laws, one case law that you can refer here is Sarojay Kumar Chakravarti versus Emperor. Here what happened? This particular person was accused of having arms or a revolver, and the evidence came in the form by a person saying that Sarojay Kumar Chakravarti has shown him revolver 3 weeks prior to the incident. Now that became an evidence, which is what we can refer under section 11. Now I am going to explain a very interesting concept in my next slide, and then let's move to the case laws. When a case starts, it is not very important that where was the accused on the said day of the crime. Now, initially it is not a relevant fact, but then once the accused proves that he was not there in the crime scene, that becomes one of the most important fact. So that is how a non-relevant fact becomes the most important fact. Here, all the accused try to prove that I was not in the crime scene on the said day. I was somewhere else. Now, that concept is known as plea of alibi or excuse. What happens here? What is the simple meaning of term alibi? It says a claim or piece of evidence that one was elsewhere when an act, typically a criminal one, is alleged to have taken place, or in a legal term we can understand this as a defense to a criminal charge alleging that the accused was somewhere other than at the scene of the crime at the time it occurred. Now that becomes one of the most important relevant fact once the same is proved, and if it is not proved, that becomes one of the biggest evidence against the accused. Now let us try understand a little more about the concept of alibi. Let us first understand the essentials for a plea of alibi. First thing first, there should be an offense, and then there should be an accused. Now the third thing is very important thing. The person who is taking plea of alibi, that is the accused, should prove that he is innocent by very clearly proving that he was somewhere else. Now, when he is proving he was somewhere else, that should be beyond any doubts need to be proved. Now, for that, what he needs to do? He needs to give evidence to prove the same. Only when the court is 100% satisfied that the accused was not near the crime scene on the day of the event happened, the plea of alibi will be accepted. Otherwise, not. Now let us try understand when plea of alibi is not allowed. The first case, if the accused is failed to prove that he was elsewhere. Second one, if the distance between those two places which are being referred by accused are nearby. For example, the crime spot versus the place where accused was there. If it was a short distance, if anybody can travel, in that case, that will not be considered as plea of alibi because anybody can travel. And finally, if there are any additional evidences like the medical evidences or any dying declarations or the eyewitnesses who are coming in FIR, etc., in that case, plea of alibi will not be allowed. I hope that is very clear. With that, I am moving to case laws. I am discussing 5 case laws here, all easy comments. The first one, Lakan Singh alias Pappu versus the state of NCT of Delhi. Here, in this case, it was very clearly held that self-defense and plea of alibi are two different things. What is self-defense? मैंने नहीं किया, I have not done, is self-defense. What is plea of alibi? मैंने नहीं था, I was not there, is plea of alibi. There is a clear difference between these two, and that is what discussed in this case law. The second case law, that is State of Maharashtra versus Narasingha Rao Gangaram Pimple, it was held that plea of alibi should be proved with absolute certainty and it should exclude the possibility of presence in crime scene. If there is 100% exclusion of the possibility of the accused person from the presence in crime scene, that is absolute certainty, and only then plea of alibi will be accepted or proved. That is what held here. The third case law, that is Jitendra Kumar versus State of Haryana, where lack of evidence for plea of alibi makes defense weak. That is what held here. If there is lack of evidence to prove plea of alibi or the absence of the accused in the crime scene, in that case the position of the defense will be weakened. That is what held here. The fourth case law, that is Somabhai versus State of Gujarat, plea of alibi has to be proved to the satisfaction of the court. That is very important. You have to convince the court to 100% to accept plea of alibi. If the court is not satisfied, it can ask more questions. The last case law discusses about when plea of alibi fails. What happens then? That is what discussed here in the case of Shahabuddin Anwar versus State of Assam, where it was held that if plea of alibi is not proved, court to continue with an inference. That means when plea of alibi fails, the court assumes that the accused was available in the crime scene on the said day. From there it continues. Prosecution tries to prove that accused has committed, and the defense tries to prove with self-defense module to prove that he was not committed with different other ways, but not with plea of alibi. That is how it progresses as per the CRPC procedures. That's all for this particular session. I hope now that you understood why not so relevant fact becomes a very important relevant fact in a particular case. And I think you have understood the concept of plea of alibi. And with that, I am concluding. See you in my next class with section 12. Till then, thank you so much for subscribing my channel. Please like, share and comment my videos. All the very best for whatsoever purpose you are referring my channel. And thanks again.